All right, guys. I said the wrong shit to begin with. Whatever. All right. We're post modeling gig.
Yeah, man, you look great.
Yeah.
You look good.
I look different.
Yeah.
It looks crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't way off the way
You're
you
gonna look crazy different.
usually wear.
I got a face for radio, dude. It's not so like to do something to try to make me look good is it's a feat.
Yeah. Appreciate you coming in, though.
Yeah, that was crazy. I didn't anticipate it being like that. I thought it was going to be like the first one. So to be quiet, it's new.
Yeah. I almost cut you because you fell asleep.
Yeah, I didn't mean that. The vibes in here, they're tranquil.
What are you gonna do with the overlay for the video?
Talking to you. Yeah.
Oh, it's
You have to, like,
cut and
talk
dry.
through the-
Yeah, so it's no editing, no stopping, because they want is a presentation as if like I was teaching a class. So it's cut and raw, and it's not cut, it's raw, and it's just you say everything you need to say and do your cut, and that's it. So
Were you
they
talking
want
during the cut?
Oh yeah, step by step.
Gotcha.
And
I didn't know if you were doing like an overlay.
no, so it's all.
This is
start
where
to finish.
my model fell asleep.
Yeah. You see everything.
Get your ass up. Should have slept last
Gave me
night.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it was tough.
But it went good.
Yeah, no, you killed it.
Thanks.
Yeah, I was like, just be on your P's and Q's, look straight. And then I was like, all right, close your eyes so you don't look weird by looking straight. And then I was just like, oh.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, do you have that happen a lot?
Oh yeah.
Is it
Oh yeah.
like a certain demographic, like kids?
Only
adults?
black people. No.
All right.
No. It's
You mean they stopped talking?
Jesus Christ. What kind of fucking podcast you invite me on?
Yeah.
No, it's not a certain demographic. No, it's I don't think it happens as frequently anymore because most of the clients that like we have now they're repeat people that we've had for years. So most people want to talk and hang out and stuff. We don't have too many people who just sit there in silence like you had to do for 30, 40 minutes or whatever. So I think, and Tyler probably can say this as well, but like most of our clients, it's a conversation mostly. Yeah. So it's back and forth banter, and there's not a reason. But like we do face shaves, we do beard trims where people are sitting back, hot towel on their face. They're gonna doze off a little bit. It happens.
What is the go-to wake up? Like, how do you wake them up?
Hey,
buddy.
Typically, I'm just like, well, when you pull a towel off of somebody's face and it gets bright, typically they'll wake up, and I'll just be like, hey, I'm going to have you sit up with me.
Yeah.
And like,
Well, part of barbering too is learning touch.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people when they get their haircut or even having a beard trim, they close their eyes. And if you touch their face directly, it can startle them because like you're touching something sensitive.
Yeah.
So learning touch, like touching the shoulder before you go into whatever you're doing, keeps them from getting startled. So you'll go in, just like place your hand on their shoulder. So you're letting them know you're there. So they're not, startled.
You're handling them like a horse. You're like, hey, buddy, I'm on your back end. Coming up the side.
Yeah.
I'm over here.
Mm-hmm. So,
So that's crazy. Have you seen people get kicked like really hard in real life by a horse?
No.
Brother.
On video.
I was going to say on video, but like in person, no.
Dude, I think you get two type of people. Like they're either overly confident, like, oh, I got this. Kind of like me with the little dog earlier. Or you get people that are like, I'm not even, nope, not going over there.
Yeah.
They won't even come close.
Being around horses is pretty, like, you have to have, like, confidence because they can, like, fear or sense your fear or whatever. But, a big fucking horse.
They're crazy powerful.
Yeah.
Like, even though it's 1 horsepower, it's like 1,000 fucking, like.
See what he did there?
It's like, dude, it's a lot of power.
I do have to say this is my 3rd time on the podcast and the 2nd time that horses have gotten brought
Damn.
up. Yeah. I think our first episode is called Horsing Around.
Yeah.
Did we talked about horses though?
I think you were talking about horse meat or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. We were like talking about putting horses down.
I'm
almost 100%
not
sure.
a clue why I would have brought that up. But yeah, dude, horses are
You
crazy.
bring out the horse in them.
I guess so, dude.
Dude, I mean,
You gotta have
got that
Luna
like
on here.
Western.
The Western vibe.
Yeah, it's the
Nah.
font on your hat. It's the your brown. I don't know fucking know,
Wearing earth
dude.
tones, bro.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Fucking horses. They're insane to know something is that big and just like a dog.
Oh, 100%. So are cows. Like my uncle has a cattle ranch over in Jacksonville, and I have not stopped eating meat by any stretch of the imagination, but there's a creek down by his house, and the last time I was over there when I bought a truck from him, but it was like the feed truck that he used before, and so when we drove down, they all followed us down because they thought I was going to feed them down to the creek, and they were splashing in it like dogs would. And I was like, man, I don't know if I can eat steak for a second, bro.
Yeah, dogs. Cows are fucking dope, dude. Like, very, very docile. Very like, they're like, yeah, can I come close? And then you're like nice to them if you can earn their trust. Just feels like a big fucking dog.
Oh, dude, 100%.
Yeah, man. Morally, I would love to be vegetarian.
Yeah, morally,
Same.
for
But-
sure.
Can't be a bitch. You know what I mean? So
I was gonna say,
the meat's gotta stay.
I said I kind of got weird about.
I mean,
meat
fuck
for
a
couple
chicken.
months,
I
but
think we can all
I'll
kinda,
kill every chicken.
Yeah,
don't
I
give a
think
shit
we
about
can
chicken.
all.
That's wild. That it is like that.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
It's
absolutely.
like, why is it like that? Is it because their face isn't cute?
I think it's just because of how like erratic their behavior is.
Yeah, they're just like crackheads.
Yeah,
they're
You
just
know, like
chicken. Like if a chicken came up to me and like wanted pets, I'm not gonna be able to eat chicken for a little bit. But typically they don't.
no.
Yeah, that's true.
They also just look like dinosaurs. And that whole pecking order thing is like a real thing.
Oh yeah, they'll to the death.
They will
Yeah.
They'll all find one and just fuck it up.
That one almost has no feathers on it sometimes.
Yes,
It'll
dude.
just be like, dude, what's going on with him?
Yeah, it's terrible. So
Yeah,
I'm
we got to
cool
bring
with
him in the
killing
house for a
chickens.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, dude. But yeah, that was. How do you think that went, other than me falling asleep?
It's hard to say. I haven't done a recording like that where I'm doing a training video or teaching video. That's only like my second time doing it. I've done a lot of before and after videos where I can cut it, edit it, put some music behind it. You can damn near do anything stupid, put some cool music behind it and make it look good. But when there's absolutely
It's a
no
cheat code.
music, there's absolutely no music, no nothing. There's no editing. It's a lot more pressure.
Yeah.
You know, to make sure you're saying everything that you want to say.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were a couple things I'll look back on and wish I could have said differently or added or maybe taken away. But that's the whole point of doing this, is to get better at it and to learn from it. And, you know, like Nick Fury, who we know is in this education realm, and that's how he started. You just got to put yourself out there, be uncomfortable. The only way you're going to get better is, you know, if you keep practicing and put yourself in uncomfortable positions to do stuff like that. So, and that's kind of my MO with life. So I'm totally cool with putting myself in an uncomfortable position to get better at something. So that's how I look at it. So I think it went fairly well. I'll send it to crew tomorrow and see what they say. I'm sure they'll be happy with it. So
Yeah. I will say, like, starting right off, that is probably going to be the hardest part, like when you just first start talking.
Yeah.
But when you started like zoning my head or whatever you want to call it,
Sure.
that it seemed like you hit like a gear and you were just like real smooth.
You know what's funny is I did a practice video on a mannequin like 2 nights ago. It's the exact same thing. And it was just me and a camera and Alex. And you know, you're obviously a little nervous the first couple of minutes. But then, like, you know, once you start getting in your repetition and you know what you're talking about, and it's just kind of forgetting the camera's there a little bit, it becomes easier. Now, this is also going to transition in the next, like, who knows, 6 months to a year, where I'll be training people like, you know, actual people in front of me. And that will be a whole nother, you know, thing I'll have to get used to, because it could be a barber shop as small as 4 or 5 barbers to potentially a hair school where you could have 15, 20, possibly even 30 students watching you cut. But I'll be going to like Pensacola State College, and I'll probably do a cutting class here for the apprentices at the salon. And that kind of thing gets me practice to be able to, when I actually do paying gigs, be a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, it also helped. I think the thing here will probably be easier just because you'll have the familiarity.
That's a big word.
It's like
You did good,
how
though.
many L's are really in that word? Familiarity.
Department.
I don't know.
Familiarity. How do you say it?
Sounds like 6.
Somebody
L's are in
say it.
Familiarity.
So you can't say it. So Chase, you're our last O.
Bro, I just sounded it out phonetically. What the fuck are you talking about?
I think that was pretty good.
Okay, well, say it like a regular word.
Hey, you say it like a regular word.
I think, but
Giving me shit. You couldn't even.
To be
I
familiar
don't know where
with.
to go after famil.
like,
What's after famil?
It's like familiar and
Arity.
arity.
Yeah, but like, how do you add it?
Familiarity.
What is it?
Familiarity.
I
think
like
that's
2 L's,
extra.
dude.
Familiarity.
Think that's too much?
It does feel extra.
Familiar has.
It's a lot of syllables.
Like, what is? There's not.
There's only
the-
one, dude. I only one there. Why is that my realm? Because I read?
Yeah.
I don't
You're the smartest one
bro.
here.
That is not true.
Familiarity.
It is.
Familiarity.
I think we should move on.
Yeah, so you'll be more familiar with the setup.
Yeah, my bad.
more
Be more familiar with the
Because you've
setup.
done that before, right? Didn't you teach a class here before?
I did, yeah. But that was like 2 years ago, and it was cutting the way like me and you have just learned how to cut,
Right.
throughout the years. Not actually having a structure of how a company wants you to cut. And that's a big thing I was telling him is the way they want you to teach and cut and things like that are totally different than what we were brought up in. So it's learning all of that and learning all their vocabulary of how they want me to, express sectionings to cutting and connecting and all that stuff. So it's having to memorize and learn all that is a little different. So
Yeah, that seems like it can be tough. Like when we got done, you were like, "Did I learn anything?" I did. The sections of the head thing that seemed to be like the most digestible of everything. Mm-hmm. Just because I didn't know you cut like that, I just thought you. Well, I knew you cut like because I've pretty much gotten the same haircut my whole life, so I know like you do clippers and then you work your way to like scissors. But I didn't know they were like sectioning it off so many different areas.
Sure.
Or like even in the steps, like you had the 5 steps.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I just
see,
think
that's
hair and then get out of my chair.
Yeah.
2 steps. Like,
well, that's a cool thing about like the hair industry. Like if you're a barber hairstylist or whatever, I mean, there's a wide variety of ways to cut hair.
yeah.
Like there are and there's no wrong way, there's no right way, there's just your way. And whatever steps you want to do in between that, I mean, it's really up to you. I think this particular way is set for people who are just getting into hair, maybe easier steps for them to be able to follow. But that's not saying you have to like take everything to heart in these, these steps.
Yeah.
This is just if you go to this class and there's a couple things you pick up on that might help you into the way you develop, then that's the positivity out of it. It's not, written in stone. It's, just a couple steps here and there that might make you better at what you're doing.
Yeah. What do you think is like, obviously you went through the college and everything, but what do you think was like the most influential part of your journey? Like, was it in the college or was it like once you got out? Like, what was the part where you felt like you learned the most, the quickest, or like maybe it clicked?
That's a good question. I mean, the college, definitely not.
Yeah, I was like that. I can tell you, dude, that ain't it.
Yeah. Because in college, you really just don't, I mean, unfortunately, like, I hate to like shit on the college, but you just don't learn too much hands-on stuff.
Yeah.
And honestly, you really don't learn too much book stuff. I mean, you're
don't
kind of
learn
on your own for the most part. I mean, there's definitely like little things you have to hit, but for the most part, I would say for me, the everyday grind of being in the shop and the awesome thing about our shop is we already had great barbers in there that you could watch and learn from. We had Nick, obviously, Luna's great, Zach's great, and I think the everyday grind of just watching them and having so many clients because we're downtown. And dude, when me and him started, like we got thrown into the fire. Like it was fucking swim or die, so you just constantly chopping head. And it's that repetition that makes you good. So I think for me, it was just over and over repeating itself. I mean, we did a bunch of classes and stuff. I don't necessarily know if it was a specific class that ever clicked for me. It was just a accumulation of a lot of different things.
I think it's more like messing haircuts up.
Yeah.
Like you fuck something up and you're like, what went wrong there? And typically,
Do you know when the
90% of
fuck
it-
up happens, or are you like?
Yeah, man. Well, it depends
10
on
minutes
what
after the fuck up,
is,
you're
right?
like,
so
"Ah."
like, there's the biggest thing for me whenever I got started was figuring out how to not go too short too fast, because like you're kind of told, like, I don't know, at least for me, like whenever, I mean, I know Nick would tell us kind of all the time, like, you know, get done with a tool and then set it down, but you wouldn't want to like recut the same hair over and over again. And I do think that is pretty important, but
For a timing
thing.
Yeah.
But like in just using a tool and then setting it down and grabbing your next tool, but finishing everything with that tool and then going in and doing detail work. But everybody's hair density is different and everybody's head shape is different. So like where the fuck ups will happen is like if I throw like a 1 on somebody, right, and I ride them up, well, their head might like they might dip, their head might, you know, kind of like, oh, I'm trying to think
You're trying to say it without
like
being
an
like,
egghead.
They might got a weird head.
Yeah, like they would have.
Well, it could be
some
incave,
people,
it could be concave, it could
right. Like some people have like
Square
the squarest fucking
heads,
head,
yeah.
and like a 1 is a 1 all the way down and around that head, right? But other people, you know, a 1 over here down near the back at the same length, like a half might be, like, just because the density is different. So if you go in with a 1.5 and you ride it up someone's fucking head, and then I didn't leave any weight, because typically like with men's cutting, you're going for a square shape. So the squarer someone's head is, the easier it kind of is to just maintain that square shape. But if someone doesn't have a square head, you have to build density up or build weight up near like your parietal ridge on the sides where the head starts to kind of curve. So the biggest fuck up is just like, oh man, did I chop off all of the weight I was supposed to leave? And then now I've rounded them out completely.
You can't go backwards.
So I
Can't
don't.
go backwards.
It's easier to stay long and work to short than to go short and then be like, fuck.
Remember when I was going through the cut, there was 5 steps of hair cutting.
Yeah.
The first was to create your horseshoe parting. The second step was to establish the shape of the head.
Yeah.
So that's what he's talking about. Keeping enough coverage around your transition points to be able to have like connection and to where you're not taking too much off too fast. And that's a weird thing. Like when you first get into hair cutting, you start with barely cutting anything. And then there's a transition point that you cut too much.
Oh, yeah.
So you go from one extreme to the other.
Yeah.
And then now you're doing a fuck ton of undercuts because you're just chopping the shit out of everything. And then eventually you learn, oh, I have to leave weight for like connection and stuff like that. So yeah, that, like he said, it's a, you learn, unfortunately, most people learn from mistakes.
Yeah.
No difference in this job, you know. You learn from mistakes a little bit.
And y'all went to school together, correct? Like,
Fortunately.
Same graduating class?
Class. Yeah,
So-
thank God.
Yeah.
And have y'all...
God, it would have been a long year and a half without
It was
Tyler.
already brutal, and then
Yeah.
at least getting to make a buddy along the way was awesome.
Yeah, because I had no intention of actually going to Wilford's until I had met Tyler. I mean, I knew that Wilford's was an option, but I had no connection there. I just walked by it downtown and was like, oh, there's a barbershop here. And I had no idea where I wanted to work when I got out of school. And then meeting Tyler and him working the front desk while he was going to school, he was like, dude, come by the shop, chop it up, hang out, watch some cuts. And that got me to be able to meet Nick and Evan and stuff like that. So it was like, by the time me and him were in second semester, I pretty much had the job offer. So it made life so much easier for me knowing I had a job when I got out of school, and then having Tyler actually like be in school with, because our fucking class sucked.
Yeah.
Like everyone in it for the most part were not good, except Luke. Shout out if you watch.
Yeah, Luke. Shout out Brandon.
Brandon, love you, dog. Like he was cool, but like it was pretty much us three. And dude, if one of us wouldn't have been in there, it would have been a long year and a half.
There was a couple other people that were cool, but I don't think of our graduating class, I don't think there's more than 4 of us maybe that are still coming.
Oh
in.
yeah, that's another thing. Like I think, what did we start with?
Almost
27.
20. Yeah, maybe it
Like
was
in the
closer to 30.
first term?
First semester, yeah. And then I know by the end of it, I think by 5th semester it was down to like 16.
Yeah, and out of the 16 that we know of that like cut hair on a regular, it's like 4.
And I'm being generous because I know 3, me, you, Luke.
Yeah.
And
I
don't
know Megan got, like, she owns her salon and stuff
Yeah,
like
but she was
that.
already a cosmetologist. Like, she was already.
I don't think she
doing
cuts men's hair, but yeah. Yeah, not a lot of people in our class are cutting hair.
Yeah. So
That's
that was
wild.
that's the thing, like going to school, is that it's a night school. So one, everybody pretty much has been working all day. So like the actually give a shit levels are pretty low. And then unfortunately, if it kind of felt, and once again, not to just shit on the school, but you felt it in the teachers too.
Yeah.
Like the teachers were there was so much turnover when we were going. I don't know what it's like now, except for a couple constants that were great, like as far as helping you navigate kind of the more like, political is not the term, but like, we challenged the board early. So we got out of school early. Technically, you weren't really supposed to be able to do that, but we had an instructor that like really went to bat for us because we had jobs lined up and stuff like that. But unfortunately, a lot of the times, those people had not been working in shops for a very long time, at least like day to day. And then the people that did, by the time they got there at 5 o'clock, they didn't really want to do it because it was from 5 to 10.
Yeah.
They were kind of burnt out, I think. So yeah, it was nice that I think Chase and I kind of like figured out that we both gave a shit.
Yeah.
So we were like, all right, let's try to figure this out.
Yeah.
And what was cool about it too is like Sarah, my wife, she was in cosmetology school. She had gotten out of cosmetology school and got a job. And, then Chase's wife went to cosmetology school. I think right around the same time I know it crossed over, but
yeah, she ended up graduating faster than me.
Well, because it was like
because it was faster, faster class. Yeah.
So yeah, then we all four ended up basically the girls started. Sarah kind of helped Alex get in, and I helped Chase get in, and it was and that was like 6-7 years ago,
yeah,
which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. With going to school together and everything, and I assume y'all saw each other before you really talked, or did everybody like commingle at first? Like, did you have a pre-thought of Tyler, or you have a pre-thought of Chase? Like, were you like,
say the real answer?
You go first, bro.
He was one of 3 white dudes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a prison talk, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, no, I mean, it honestly, like Tyler said before, you can tell in a class who's taking it serious.
Yeah.
And dude, when I started the college, I had almost turned 30. Like this wasn't something that I was going to do to just fuck around with. Like this wasn't like I think half of our class, this is no bullshit, we're in it because they got money from the government to actually go to the school.
Yeah, for sure.
And me and Tyler were one of 3 people that paid to go.
Yeah.
Like most of these people were getting paid to go. We paid thousands of dollars to go. This wasn't a hobby, or this was like my career.
Yeah.
So when I saw,
you're trying to make it out the mud.
Yeah, like when I met Tyler, I knew he was serious about the profession and wanting to graduate and start a job in the career. So we were, dude, in second term, I remember we had to roll perms.
Yeah, 50.
And we were the only ones in the class fucking doing it. Yeah. Everybody else was fucking off and not really doing it, and they still got credit for it. While me and him were busting ass every night, rolling these perms to get them done, to get our numbers. And so I think our work ethic really is what brought us in a friendship together, and we're like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Either one of y'all ever rock a perm?
Dude, hell no.
You didn't have to try it for the class?
No, you didn't even have. It's the thing with barbering school, man. Yeah, you work on first.
But you weren't ever like, let me try this on you.
No, dude.
No,
I mean, you probably could have. Then I had long, slick back hair.
That would have been hilarious. I had my hair put in rollers and like held for like a couple hours, but never like with any product.
With actual
So like just when you pull it out, it's like Dorothy looking or whatever. But you could easily just wash your hair and it's immediately gone.
And that was kind of, I mean, similar, like, that's what we were doing to mannequins. It was basically you would just put the rollers in, but not put the product in. And then you would, dude, it was hours of just, like, rolling it all up. And then you take all of it all out. And then you just start again. And we did that for hours and hours. Because all of it was on the honor system. It's like even the haircuts and stuff was on the honor system. So you would do haircuts and then tell them you had a sheet that was signed off on every night, right?
Yeah.
Then they would input that at the end of the week into like you had X amount of each service you had to do on top of just the hours that you had to do. So like it was kind of the same thing. When people weren't coming in, we were cutting mannequins. So it was like we're cutting mannequins, we were doing all of the services, but a lot of people would just kind of write down like, oh, I did 5 haircuts tonight, but they never even
picked up a clipper.
That's wild
Or
because
weren't even there. Yeah, they were like at the mall or something.
All right.
Which, I mean, and I'm not even shit talking those dudes. We had a lot of fun. Like, all of those guys were super fun.
Yeah.
Like, it was good hangs. Like,
Dude, you and
it was a
Mario's
good time.
conversations
Mario
kept,
and I would
kept
get
the
into
nights
it.
alive a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And dude,
Mario was cool as
fifth
hell.
term, which we didn't even have to complete the whole thing. How long was the terms? I can't remember. 3 months?
I think fifth term was, but fifth term was summer semester.
Yeah, so like that month, we did fucking nothing.
We would like go in and bang out like 30 minutes of practice tests because we were done with all of our services and then had to do our
go
state
hang out at
board
the mall.
exam. Yeah, we go hang out at the mall or go see Alex at
it seems
Starbucks. Yeah.
it seems like way more relaxed than I feel like it probably is now.
Dude, I'm sure it's just as...
It's got to be.
yeah,
Just,
it's-
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Unless
better.
you have some hard-ass teacher that just went in there. I mean, I don't know who's teaching the program anymore, but...
Miss Sherry's gone.
Yeah, so who knows what? But that's another difference now is I believe it's only, one class going through the whole thing?
He would know that better than me, but yeah, I think so, right? Because it used to be that.
Yeah,
there
it's
was
one
there used to
from
be
August to
5.
August.
Yeah.
There was 5.
But it's like, yeah, I know. Me and my sister looked into it, and she was like, well, why can't you just do this? There's like multiple. But she was like looking at an older forum or something,
Right,
and
yeah.
it was like,
Yeah, I think I remember Nick saying too that they went down to 1 year. Honestly, it's probably because they have trouble getting instructors. I
Oh,
mean, it
for
doesn't
sure.
pay well.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
only imagine.
Yeah, because
And,
they
like,
even reached out. Nick reached out to me asking if I wanted to go teach up there.
Well,
And I
Nick
was
did it for a
"Hell
semester,
no."
didn't he?
Yeah,
And he was like,
they don't
"Hell
pay
no."
anything.
Yeah, and it's
So-
just a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're dealing with a lot of people that just want to take advantage of the situation, I guess.
Yeah,
or not
I
take
mean-
it serious.
I know what you were wanting to say, but it's nice that you worded it that way.
Yeah, what do you want to say?
I heard what you said earlier. No, dude, it's wild. Like y'all were fucking around with perms. Did you guys like ever do anything ethnic with your hair? Like, did you have to like cornrow anything?
I would have rather learned how to do that than perms, honestly.
Yeah, it seems like you do more of those than perms.
Oh, dude, you absolutely could do that. Yeah, school is not really about teaching you how to cut hair. It's about like because it's so they're Pell Grant funded for the most part. Like most people that go there are on some form of like government grant. It has to be it's a clock hour program, so it's really like they audit it pretty heavily, like the state does. So with that, they have like this super old curriculum that they've been using.
Oh, yeah.
So they don't really give a shit about teaching you how to cut hair. It's just like, let me check all these boxes so that we can get Pell money, and then the state board for Florida is not a practical. It's all written. So, I mean, not that this is that important, but you would think that, I mean, not that it's not important, but you would think that step one would be like, this is a clipper, this is how you take it apart and clean it.
Oh, right.
We never got that.
No.
Not a
at
single
all.
time.
Mm-hmm.
Let alone like
This is how you hold your tools.
none of that. Yeah, none of that. I mean, it was basically just like you were given a book and then they're like, all right, go do this haircut. And then you kind of have to go step by step.
Dude, there were times where we would just watch YouTube videos
Yeah, dude.
Like on how to learn, or just because there was nothing going
of
on?
random haircut tutorials
Oh,
from
yeah.
random people, not a curriculum or anything
Yeah,
like that.
and back then it probably wasn't as elaborate as it is nowadays. Like there's so much you can look on YouTube now.
There was quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, we're
There
not
was a
talking that
couple
long
dudes.
ago. So, I mean, yeah, there's
But
definitely
dude,
a lot.
I mean, what's crazy though is like, at year 6 or 7, I don't even know how long we've been out of school now. It's been over 6 years. But
yeah.
I don't know, it's crazy how watching the industry change just even in that amount of time
Mm-hmm.
is. Like it is so much more. It's like I feel like there was a really big
Come influencer heavy.
Oh, for sure.
That's-
But dude, also right when we first started before COVID and like all the like premiere, there was like multiple premieres. Now there's just Orlando, like all that stuff. Like I feel like it hit this like big
Oh, you
upswing.
think it's died down a little bit?
A little, but not much. I mean, a little in the sense of like that type of thing. I think everything's going towards like there's a lot of while there has always been brand education, there's a lot more like independent education now since
Oh,
COVID, I
okay.
think.
Yeah. For
And
sure.
I don't know, just watching the industry change so much. I mean, because, yeah, it's all influencer heavy. YouTube is a huge thing. like Instagram famous barbers, all of that kind of stuff was like just before COVID, and then COVID just like kicked that stuff
Ramped
off.
it up. Yeah.
Yeah. They gave people a lot of time to like try to get creative or grow a brand from nothing.
Right. I think a lot of people were just spending time on their phones.
Yeah.
So then they started kind of seeking out personalities, you know. But I guess that would have been right before too, because you would see all those dudes. Like, what's the dude that used to wear the foxtail that we saw a couple times?
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah. With Babyliss?
Yeah. He live streamed his at-home birth for his daughter.
He
What?
was Steve. He was
Yeah.
Steve-O's barber. Fuck, what was his name? Something Clown? Like Clown?
No,
barber?
dude, not Richie the Clown.
Oh, not Richie the Clown?
I'm
Oh,
talking
hey,
about
that
the
dude's
other
trying to be
dude.
a tattoo artist now.
Is
Is
he?
he?
Yeah, he just like posted a video where he's like gonna be in a shop now,
Dude.
which
I
is
thought
wild.
he was the one with the tail.
He probably wore one too, but no, I'm talking about the dude from like he was
Hey,
like from
that
South Florida.
foxtail thing was popular. For
You don't remember he had like his baby's placenta and he like held it open and
That
showed his
wasn't
phone in there?
him? I thought he showed his wife's birth.
Richie, I don't think Richie's married. He might be.
I don't know.
That's wild.
He was like, "This is my baby's house." Started, like filming inside of this
Oh my
thing.
God, dude.
It's pretty. Which whatever. It's a miracle of birth or whatever, but you know, not necessarily what I expected to see pulling up Instagram.
Yeah, that is,
I'll leave that for my extracurriculars.
dude. It's wild what Instagram allows. Like how many like
dude.
live deaths,
Dude.
but you can't say like sarcastically threatening thing to like a friend. Like if you don't go see Chase, I'll fucking pull up or something, and it'll ask you, "Are you sure you want to post this?"
Does it really?
On you or Instagram, it does. Like if you say something that sounds threatening, it'll ask you, "Are you sure this sounds similar to other things that we have pulled or whatever?"
Dude, the amount of murder videos I've seen on Instagram lately is startling.
Bro,
lot,
it's
dude.
crazy.
It's a lot.
Like, and you know where it comes up and you're like, you sure you want to see it?
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
help but like, I
Well,
gotta
how do
see
you-
it.
how
I
do
mean,
you
I gotta
even
hit
get
view.
that?
Huh?
How do you even get that? Because there's videos where you're like, okay, let me have the screen so I can put this up.
Right.
But how do you get that screen where it's like, how
you
is
mean,
it
how
just
does
not
it
immediately
flag it?
taken off?
Yeah.
Oh.
But they'll let you have it on, but they'll give you like where's that? Nobody ever thinks about that.
Dude, I have no clue, but it's gotten to be the Wild West. I feel like even just a couple weeks ago, I was talking to a couple of the dudes at the gym, and I
Yeah.
was like, did anybody else just see, like, it was every time I scrolled, it was just that screen. And then finally I was like, all right, what is this? What is happening? And it's always some like, I don't know, dude. It's like a dash cam video, or it's like from like a security camera of a
Dude.
factory, and you're like, someone's about to get squished.
I literally just saw a video from like the top of like a parking garage, and it's a guy laying in the road, and you're like, no. And he's laying there like he's sleeping in the middle of the fucking road. But then he moves his arm like this, and then wham, runs over. Just full throttle, and then nobody was there because they got dragged underneath the car. So you're like, what the hell, Instagram?
You know, I saw one, and I don't know if I told you about this at work, but it was it was like, do you sure you want to see this? And I was like, yeah, gotta see it.
I don't know what this is,
And,
but yep.
and apparently it was a kind of a viral video years ago, but I had never even heard or seen it. But it's this guy sitting at his computer desk, and I don't know what he's going through or seeing, but he goes, yep, that's fucking it. And he grabs his shotgun next to him, and he puts it under his chin and just pulls the trigger.
You saw
and
that where?
on Instagram, and his whole face
On Instagram.
and his whole face explodes. Like, and it shows everything. I mean, like
What?
he
What?
bam, and just his whole fucking face is gone, and he's just like hanging there. And I'm like, this is on Instagram. This shit used to be on what, Rotten.com, and now it's on
Yeah, or
Instagram.
like-
back in the day.
Daily.
I could not believe that, and it almost made me sick. I was like, that
Or
is-
Live Leak. Live Leak was
Live
big
Leak
for that.
was a big one.
Dude, I just saw one too where it was like this prison, two prisoners or whatever are in this like waiting room. It kind of looks like they're being transitioned into another area, but they're loose. There's no like chains or anything on them. But it's like this. And then you see one guy kind of go out of frame. And this dude stands up. They start to fight. They come in. Well, this dude knocked that dude out onto the ground, and he punches him like a million times.
Oh, Jesus.
He stopped moving, but he doesn't
it just-
stop.
just keeps going.
Doesn't stop. But it's so grainy that you're like not seeing anything crazy. But you're like stuck. You're like, there's like 2 seconds left. I gotta.
See, that's.
But you're like, I'm gonna remember this and this is gonna suck. But what's gonna happen?
I wish the shotgun was grainy. This dude's webcam was 4K.
Jesus
Christ. It was.
Wow.
I'll send it to you.
Don't send it
pretty
to me.
wild.
Yeah, see, it's like I hear about people have like message chains like that. I don't want one of those because I can't deal with like unsolicited death where somebody like either bullied somebody or like shot somebody or beat somebody the fuck up. Like dumb death I can deal with. Like if you accidentally had a pole and you touched a thing and it just you vaporized.
Yeah.
That's funny to me because like that's crazy. It's just it's crazy. It's not like malicious.
So if you do it to yourself.
Yeah, if you fall off a building because you're being dumb because you're on a bike, you fucking idiot.
Jesus.
You get that. But if it's like we jump Chase right now and kill him.
Dude, y'all being wild as hell. I can't watch the death videos, but I do find some sort of like something with like bone break videos.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean,
Dude.
like bone breaks are like gym videos where dudes will like tear their pecs.
That's because you like doing that now?
What's that?
You like breaking legs now?
No.
Is that
dude.
why? Is that why you like them?
You got a track record, brother.
Yeah,
No,
dude.
I
Like,
do
because you keep
not.
fucking everyone
No,
up.
I
do not.
Just a
Y'all
bully
fucking
in the
quit.
gym.
It is. It's
No,
true.
it's not true at all.
How many
Dude,
bones
dead
have you
serious.
broke?
I did not want to tell you
Maybe
this.
one.
But
No.
Maybe one.
No, dead serious. I didn't want to tell you this, but after that like little competition or whatever, and we were doing open mat, and I was like fucking around with you, and I was like doing that donkey guard where like you're like this, and you go.
Yeah,
and I did that, and you
yeah.
pushed me forward. I landed on my neck, and I heard popping, and I was like, that can't be good.
Don't be doing some dumb shit to me.
Yeah, but not to you.
Trying to do reverse.
Nobody can
donkey
do
guard.
dumb shit to Tyler because he's
He'll
like
break
he takes
their
that shit
bones.
personal. He's like MJ out there.
I took that shit personal.
Yeah, I took that shit personal, brother. You ain't about to walk away from this.
Yeah,
Whatever.
this is game 6.
It is.
fucking-
Every game is game 6 to him.
Yeah.
This is such bullshit, dude. Nah, that's
Yeah.
not true.
He comes in there like
I mean,
it's his
your
flu
reputation
game,
right now. Yeah.
but you ball on us, and it's just
That's
unfair.
not true, dude.
It's true. You're gonna be one of these live leak videos.
No, dude.
You're gonna be like, dude looks calm, but for some reason broke his shin bone in half from just.
I can't watch the bone break stuff. I can watch someone get killed more than the bone break stuff.
I just
Like
think,
dude on a trampoline just
That's
getting
why
it and
I'm
then
more
just
you.
snapping his shit.
I'm
I
more
would-
you because
Really?
World Star, I got trauma from World Star. Like I was not prepared for that whole like era of shit in my life. Like
what,
people,
just fight videos and stuff?
yeah, just like the knockout game in New York.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that shit was
yeah.
crazy.
See, I don't like that, man. I like.
But the bone break, the tear shit, that it's something like at least they're trying something. I just saw this like 400-pound girl that's wrestling, and she
Dude,
does
that's
like
the
a
one that
front
I
flip.
immediately thought of.
Oh,
Yeah,
where
I
she
sent
does
it to
the
you.
front flip
Yeah, and her leg
and
just-
legs. Yeah.
Yeet.
Yeah,
Dude,
you
that's
did
a
send
lot
it to
of-
me.
that's
Yeah.
a lot of LBs on that one leg, dude.
Hey,
Dude.
that's pretty. Dude, there's
That
the other
poor
one of the
limb didn't have
wrestler.
a shot.
Did you remember the wrestler video from a couple years ago where the dude jumps?
Please don't. No.
You know what
And
I'm
he
talking
double
about?
hyperextends.
Yeah,
his-
yeah.
The backyard wrestling one? Yes.
Dude, he's like, let's go! Fucking- I've never seen some shit like
He's
that, dude.
built like fucking Gru though, like the dude from the Minions. It's just like,
Dude, this is a dude in his
You know not
mid-30s
to
that had
jump off of that
absolutely
shit.
no business
yeah,
doing
bro,
what
that's
he
the
was
most
doing.
athletic thing he's ever done, and he did it
Oh my
on
god.
camera. That's crazy, dude.
See, I can watch the hyperextension stuff. That really didn't upset, but like the clean break where they got the wobble
Well,
and it's
dude,
just
his
like
legs go backwards. I mean, I say it's a
Yeah.
hyperextend, but his knees are
Yeah,
like,
yeah, they are
I mean,
definitely
he looks like a fucking
copping in the
flamingo,
other.
dude. Is what he looks afterwards. You're like, oh no.
You know the big guy from Jackass, like the newest one? I think his name's Zach.
Zach-ass? Or-
Yeah, Zach Ass.
Yeah.
Have you seen his leg break?
Oh no.
He's like trying to 50-50. It's just like a roll up 50-50. So he's on a board and he rolls on the coping. So he doesn't ollie or anything. He just rolls up on it and his back foot catches and it like folds this. Mid shin. Just snaps and he's just like, like, just holding that shit. When somebody can actively scream about it, it's crazy to me. Because
Yeah.
you see
yeah.
people like Conor McGregor, when he broke his, he was just like,
Oh, because all his
hey, your wife's in my DMs. He's
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
fucking, his leg is snapped in half.
Yeah.
No
dude,
crying.
are the compound fractures
Those are bad.
where the bone's out?
I hear like you can legitimately lose your whole leg whenever a bone breaks through skin.
Dude, yeah.
Is it just like an infection thing?
Yeah. I think it's just because it's like so hyper different than what your fucking body's ready for. I don't know how your body can even handle a bone breaking inside of itself. Like, wouldn't it just tear shit all
when
around
when I broke my like lower leg, like my fibula, and then it healed, and now it feels fine. I'm like, what a crazy thing.
Yeah.
You're like, what happened?
It broke and healed itself. I mean, for the most part, it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it healed
grew
itself.
back.
It didn't have surgery or anything like that. It just healed itself. It was close enough that it kind of just like closed up.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
I did that with my like outer 3 bones here, like skateboarding. I snapped all 3 of them. My grandma was like, I don't think it's broken. And I was like, I think it is. And she goes, can you walk on it? And I was like, I mean, kind of. And she goes, you'll be fine. 3 weeks later, we went to the hospital with my dad. And my dad was like, I think it's fine, but we're just going to have it checked out. The doc was like, yeah, you broke those 3 weeks ago. Like clean snaps.
Yeah.
But now they're healing. So you're just going to have a wooden block on your foot till it's like fine.
Yeah.
It's like,
that
what
whole
the
stand
hell?
on it and it's fine thing is like, if you can walk, it's fine, is not true. That's not true at all.
Yeah.
Because that's what sweat, like when something breaks, that swelling is to protect that area. You know what I mean? So it keeps it from like moving. So you can fucking walk on it. It just.
Even with like a torn ACL or MCL, you can walk on it.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't
you can
mean
like
you should.
squat and all that kind
Right,
of shit.
right.
Well, your boy knows that.
Oh,
shit.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, you were walking on a torn ACL or was it your MCL?
You had a
meniscus.
right?
Oh, meniscus.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I was doing a lot of
How long were
jiu-jitsu
you
with
doing
it.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're doing cartwheel passes and shit, blowing your own knee out.
Not good. I'll tell you that. Didn't feel good.
Right.
But you can imagine like the shit they didn't even know were things at all. Like I know like you get a cut, you die back in the day, but like
Yeah, that's why
when they didn't know what tearing
death
something
was like 36.
Yeah. They probably thought that was death inside of their body. Like you tore something, you're like, oh, it's getting me from inside. Kill me.
Probably.
We got to put him down. His leg hurts.
Yeah. Shoot him.
They would
Yeah.
just take it off, dude. Back in the
Oh,
day,
yeah,
it was
that's
just
true.
like, let's just get rid
Solderize it.
of it.
And fucking
Yeah.
go.
Yeah,
Keep
dude,
going.
this has been hurting for, I don't know, three moons and 4 suns, and I got to just,
Yeah, we got to take that bad boy
that
off.
thing sucks. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, but the tears, I've been recently really heavy into watching the Trend Twins.
Oh, yeah.
Brother,
That one
Mikey
dude
tore his
his
shit.
pec.
Yeah. It had to be like the first day, I guess. They released the video with no blur.
Sure.
But then I guess the only way to keep it out there was to re-edit it with a blur. But when you initially see it, dude, fucking Chris Bumstead is doing a curl with, I don't know
Oh, he
how
did
much.
that assisted curl with,
Devon, or
I know who you're talking about. Was it Wheeler?
no.
Not Wheeler.
This dude was the dude that played like Arnold in some B movie, but he really does not look that crazy off from Callum.
I know.
Something Callum, whatever. He was like the
I know you're
next
talking
big Austrian bodybuilder. He looked great.
He was the one who also was he skiing or some shit?
Oh,
in front
No,
of
he
his-
fell
I
off
think
a
it was
fucking
rappelling,
cliff.
right?
Or he just fell.
I know
Oh,
who
he
you're
was
talking
rappelling,
about.
and
Yeah.
and he,
Yeah.
I know who you're talking
yeah,
about.
Dude,
yeah,
he
yeah.
has had a terrible story, but like he's curling with Chris.
Yeah, stupid
rips
fucking
his
thing.
shit, it rolls up in the video,
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
And to think like it could have happened to Chris, and Chris was like, what, 5 or 6 time physique Olympia.
Yeah, Chris though had a better foundation of building muscle for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
Because Chris had been like bodybuilding like since he was a teenager.
Yeah.
And this guy got on steroids, pretty quick. It's just like the Trend Twins. Like when you
you're growing
take a lot of
faster
gear
than
and
you-
you're getting strong as fuck and your muscle is growing, but your ligaments aren't up there yet, and you're pushing all that weight, no matter if you're curling,
gonna
benching,
go.
dude, it's a matter of time. That's why if you've looked at any bodybuilder from the fucking 70s on, if you look at their programs, they are not lifting heavy.
Yeah.
For their size.
Yeah.
I mean, if you looked at like Schwarzenegger, I mean, this dude was literally benching 225. He could have benched 500, but you don't need to. Like they could lift moderate amount of weight and build a fuck ton of muscle. The only really one who did it sustainably was Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah,
and he was
now
just a
look at him.
freak show. I mean, Ronnie was just a
barely
freak.
walk, yeah.
But look at him now. He can barely walk. But like, it's just a matter of time before something happens. I mean,
Yeah. But it's hard not to have like your ego come and play.
oh, dude, especially
when
on
you're
Trend.
that young, so accessible, money, fame, trend. That's what
you
I'm
can
saying.
lift everything in the gym. You're gonna try.
Well, dude, you also, I mean, with those guys, they have to keep putting out videos of them lifting heavy.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of their
they're
identity.
also
That's their whole thing, man.
They're
So
also
it's like-
really actually genetically gifted, so that doesn't help them not want to do the drugs to make them even stronger.
Yeah.
You know, like they already have a very high ceiling, but it's like I don't want to. I love them. I'm not calling them dumb at all, but it's like, what is to stop them? They're probably making hand over foot like more money than their parents, so their parents aren't going to be like. Their parents are probably like, "Hey, probably not a good idea."
What,
But-
like the drug use?
Yeah, but there's nothing to stop them other than like maybe someone not being happy with it. They don't give a fuck about their health in that way. They're like, who gives a shit? I'm gonna use this.
Yeah,
big
because
as
they
fuck.
only got a limited amount of time to make their money and do their thing. I mean,
I think they could be like,
And honestly,
not
I-
comedians, but they could do some sort of like show.
like skit.
Yeah,
well, that's
like,
what they're doing
comedy.
now. They're making
I
a
would
fuck
say,
ton
yeah.
on YouTube. I mean,
yeah,
that's
but
the
they
whole
don't even
point.
have to like. Yes, they're drawing in the like lifting crowd, but like they don't have
Oh,
to
you
do
think
that.
they can go beyond that?
They could do food reviews or something. Have you seen them eat their fucking crumble cookie and shit?
Yeah.
It's like they're interesting just to see them banter back and forth about nothing. They'll
Well, I
argue
think
about a
that's-
fucking
I think-
dog.
I think that's why they've gotten as many followers, because there's a fuck ton of people doing that.
Yeah.
There's so many guys out there doing. I'm going to be the next bodybuilder or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a ton, but they're charismatic, and they like you said, they have good banter and they're funny. So yeah, they're going to get a lot of views. But I think to answer your question about their drug use, though, is they do have a real coach. Like the guy who's coaching them is a legit.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. But before that, like even before that, they had Greg. But before
Yeah.
that, they didn't really have anyone that I know of.
Oh, I'm sure they had someone selling them the right drug. I mean,
But who knows?
yeah.
It is wild to like. That's why I've
I mean, you
never
look at like Sam Solik. I mean, he's the same.
yeah.
Started taking drugs.
Yeah, he
High
was
teenage.
working out in a Planet Fitness and like,
Still is.
yeah.
Just
I mean,
like the
he
fucking
works
Arnold
out. He has so
amateur.
many gyms. It's crazy.
Yeah. And he's 23. I
Yeah.
mean,
That's a rough 23, bro. That heart,
oh yeah.
that heart ain't
It
gonna
is
last.
crazy. Look at him and his brother. His brother's got to be a few years younger than him.
Yeah.
His brother
brother's
looks like a
pretty jacked.
child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he looks like he's like 15.
Yeah.
I think they're just a couple years
Yeah, I know.
because I know they're both.
He
in
looks like
college.
his dad almost.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a rough 23.
Yeah, that's a rough 23.
But I mean, if your goal is to try to peak and like maybe he knows he's gonna retire at like really early, like he's gonna quit at like 29, brother, do whatever.
Well,
It's
like-
your body, it's your life, whatever.
I know Chase and I have talked about this like just randomly, but it's crazy to see like all of those old school bodybuilders. I mean, you don't see them dying of heart problems. It's all like new dudes. that
And
are
it's
just,
mostly guys that can't separate their
Ooh.
steroid drug use
Yeah.
from actual other narcotics,
There was-
like coke and stuff like that.
Like,
I mean,
Rich Piana.
Look at Rich, like he
Yeah.
was snorting a fucking ton of coke and taking pills, mixed with steroids that can increase your blood pressure and stuff like that. So a mixture of all that, can definitely fuck you up. But if you're eating super clean, you live a super clean lifestyle, and you take some steroids, the chances of something really happening to you are very, very, very low.
Yeah, unless it's like underlying and
Yeah,
it
you have
was
some
gonna
underlying
already
disease,
happen.
like you have your heart, a regular, sized
Yeah.
heart or something like that. I mean, for the most part, guys have been taking drugs for fucking
Bro,
Dude,
it's
it's
crazy
fucking
how
forever.
many people do.
Dude,
like
right.
casual people.
Oh,
like the amount of dudes.
the
that
amount
I
of guys
talk
that come to
in
our
my
barber
gym.
shop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. And you start talking to them, and eventually,
Yeah.
they're like,
yeah,
hey, man.
taking stuff, even the pro hormones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The amount of guys that are taking pros, which are, by the way, 10 times fucking worse for you. I mean, taking a pro hormone that's got to be deposited through your liver, go through your kidneys, all that shit.
I don't even know
10
shit about
times
that.
worse
I was gonna say, I don't know
than
what pro
taking
hormone is.
something direct. It's a precursor to steroids.
I thought you said like pro hormones, like they are for
No,
hormones.
so-
and I was like, oh, I
Favorite.
get
So
it.
if you go to GNC or MaxFit or anything,
Yeah, yeah.
there are pro hormones, and these pro hormones are just like steroids, and they have cutters, they have bulkers,
okay.
they have and everything in between. Things like Anavar that will get you super lean, that are like 3 to
Anavar
5
is at GNC?
things like Anavar.
Okay.
Then they have things.
I was like,
You got excited, bro.
Things that are like set like wind straw that'll get you super fucking shredded, all the way up to things that are like Deca and D-ball that are super wet and super heavy and put on a massive amount of size. But the problem is they have the same formula of steroid built into the pro hormone, but the reason why they're legal is because you orally take it. And your body has to break the pill down and disperse the steroid into your system. Whether a steroid shot of taking it through a pen goes directly into your bloodstream and disperses. So for whatever reason, the FDA says, oh, it's totally legal if it's swallowed, but we're not going to make it legal if you have to inject it with a pen because I think it looks bad in a certain light. Yeah. If you're saying, oh, it's legal to shoot yourself up. For whatever reason, I don't know. But it is way harsher on your body on the pills. So anytime I used to sell stacks of pro hormones, you have to take fucking liver support. You have to take an estrogen blocker. You have to take all this stuff because your body has to physically disperse it, and it puts a lot of wear on your body to do that. So it's a lot more harmful.
It's crazy what goes into it. There was a girl that was at, what was that event that just happened that Sam won his thing at?
That was the Arnold Classic, but they had the actual Arnold Classic as well.
Yeah. So at that event, there was a girl in the crowd that was a competitor. I don't know if she competed there or I know she didn't compete there because they brought that up in the story, but she was a competitor of bodybuilding or whatever. And apparently she was there just coaching, and she died because she was so dehydrated. She wasn't cutting for anything. But something about whatever she's been taking, all combined, she was like dehydrated inside and collapsed and died.
Hey, doing the whole dehydration thing is probably the most dangerous thing most people do in a bodybuilding show because you are already, most of the guys are at like 3 to 5% body fat. And then they take
their skin's
it's paper.
Yeah.
Then they're taking all these diuretics to push water for not just a day. They've been doing the diuretics for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And then they totally stop drinking water 24 hours before the show. So you're in a very weird state for that 48 hours.
Yeah.
Like when Alex was doing her last couple shows, man, it almost, you get so dehydrated that you get the worst case of cotton mouth, and you almost start hallucinating in a weird way.
Yeah.
And then you're also on stage with all the lights. It gets hot. You're full of tanner, and it's a
couldn't be me, bro.
Dude, I remember when I competed in Atlanta, that was the most dehydrated I've ever felt.
Did you weight cut for it?
Hmm?
Did you weight cut for it?
Yeah. I weight cutted because you had to weigh in with your gi on.
Oh shit!
And I didn't know that until we're there, and I was at Remedy at the time, so Trey is there because he's competing the same day. And I was like, dude, how? Because he had a pro gi, so they're like half the weight, like a legit, real pro gi. And I was like, is there any way I can borrow that? Because I didn't know we had to weigh in with the gi on and everything. So he competed first, and I was able to compete in that gi. But the whole night prior...
Oh, dude. I'm just thinking about the sweat stuck in that thing after a competition.
I have no idea how wet it was.
Yeah.
Wasn't even a thought on my. I was like, just whatever.
I'm just thinking about putting on something wet, dude.
Yeah.
You're dry. Oh my god. It's like drilling with Josh Meyer, dude.
Yeah. But so the night
just
prior,
that in to see if he gets this far in this episode.
Probably won't.
Just watching some birds or something.
But I couldn't even sleep. I was so thirsty. I was like, I wasn't even hungry. Of course my body was hungry, but all I could think about was liquid. Like when you're so deep on a cut like that, because I think I had cut 20 pounds in the last month or something. And of course a lot of that was the night before because I took a salt bath and I had to watch everybody eat dinner and I was not drinking anything. And I was just like, dude, why the fuck did anybody do this? But it's to get the smallest advantage for something that doesn't even... y'all don't know anything about that competition. So it doesn't affect my life at all. Why did I do that? It doesn't matter if Sam loses every single one of his competitions. What does that even mean? I know it proves that what he's doing is true to him or whatever, but you don't... It shouldn't be based off of the wins or the
Well, I think
losses.
that his whole thing is, I mean, you weren't trying to go professional unless you were. Were you trying to do that like full time?
Like jiu-jitsu? No,
Yeah.
I was already working. So in my mind, I'm like, you already started jobs. You're never
man.
getting
If
out
you're trying
of
to
it.
do those like pro competitions, like that's what you want to do for a living.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's the same thing watching like UFC fighters cut all that weight and shit because they do it.
Yeah, but even if he loses one, doesn't mean he can't win another one and be a pro. Like,
Right.
You could have a only defeated record.
But I will say one thing, like especially in his case, you only have a certain amount of. I think jiu-jitsu is a little bit different in fighting in general. Like you can do multiple events a year, dude. In bodybuilding,
Yeah.
you can only do a handful of actual competitions a year.
Yeah.
Like two.
I heard you can. Yeah,
maybe
I heard you can only
two?
peak twice,
maybe
in a
three,
year.
maybe three if you are just really on your diet and you're genetically gifted for it. But like, yeah, the amount of trying to keep as much muscle without like losing that muscle density and depth, and also having your body fat percentage at a certain level and balancing that is super hard.
Yeah.
And the wear on your body is like crazy. So yeah, he only probably had, like if he would have lost this amateur, it sets him back a year. So he wouldn't have been
I guess
able
so.
to do
You make a better
another
point than what I. Yeah.
yeah, he wouldn't have been able to do another big amateur event to get his pro card probably for at least 6 months, because
he's
he would have
riding
had
the hype
to
train, too.
he would have had to get back on a regular diet,
Yeah.
bulk up just a little bit to get his levels all equaled out, and then cut again, and then try to do another show.
So he just got his pro card. He's probably.
He won't compete for another year.
Yeah, I was about to say like a year or more.
Yeah, he'll probably do the Arnold Classic next year, the actual Arnold Classic,
and that's to qualify for the Olympia.
Right.
And then he's probably several years away from actually trying to compete in it.
I don't know. He looked pretty fucking big.
But he's only doing physique.
I think he's going to be the next Chris Bumstead. I really do. He's got the potential for it. He's big as shit.
Yeah.
If you look at comparison pictures of him at 23,
Yeah,
and Chris
I've
at
seen a
23,
ton of them.
He's real close.
You know what's wild too? Like, you know who Sam Selleck is?
Yeah.
It's wild to hear him talk in videos and be like, this is just coming from like someone who doesn't really lift weights, which I'm trying, but not ever trying to be like that. But he'll be like, yo, my downfall are my biceps and my legs.
Oh yeah.
But if he walked in here right now, you'd be like,
Oh yeah, he's fucking huge.
but to think like that to him is his down. It's like, brother, we don't have a bicep between all of us.
yeah,
We couldn't squeeze one out.
yeah, he's big.
His bicep is all of our muscles combined into one muscle.
But him competing against the best in the world,
Yeah, I know, I get it, but it's just like
now
crazy.
it's-
Perspective is insane, and it's
for
of
sure.
course like yes, he's on like the biggest stages, but
Right.
it's insane to see.
but yeah, like we were saying though, if he loses that, he's got to wait another probably 6 to 8 months, try to qualify again. What if you lose it again?
Yeah.
No, I mean, that sucks.
Do you think he has?
You have a
the-
limited amount of time.
Yeah. Do you think he has the potential to be like open class Olympia, like in his lifetime?
Kind of depends on how much drugs he wants to take, because he definitely has the frame for it. If he wanted to be,
He seems like he has the unlimited ability to gain size.
oh yeah, he could be as big as he wants. Chris Bumstead had the ability to be open.
Yeah.
But he knew that he was going to make more of a impact,
Yeah.
more money. He was going to get more wins if he stayed in classic physique. So like
He
Chris,
looked great though.
oh yeah, because Chris did open,
Yeah.
and I think he came in second. It was
You're talking
really
about the
big
very
open.
last one?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I
he
thought it
looked
would've been-
fucking great.
Yeah.
He looked huge. He just, that one guy had him just a little bit on a certain
Yeah.
couple areas, and that guy is going to be in the Olympia. The guy who
Yeah.
won it. I mean, we're talking like the 1% of 1%
Yeah.
of people. So, but yeah, Sam definitely. If he's 23,
I
dude,
think
you
it would
don't
be
even
cool-
get in your prime of bodybuilding until you're in your early 30s.
Yeah,
like
that's where
when
I'm at
Jay
right
and
now,
Ronnie and all those guys
Yeah.
were winning the Olympia, they were in their 30s. They weren't in their 20s. So he has like 10 more years,
You got
roughly.
a chance, bro.
Yeah, you have a chance.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I got a chance.
Yeah,
guess.
I was like,
Y'all-
I'm out. I'm on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
I got a bad view.
That's
Yeah.
why when like
say
your
y'all
client
pass
the other
everybody.
day was like, I think I might get into bodybuilding.
Like in the
Oh,
gym.
yeah.
No, he was like, I want to do a bodybuilding competition. And he's like,
He's 30. Yeah.
And I'm like, you realized that you are the age of Chris Bumstead, who's already retired, and now you want to start at his age. Like, realize how crazy that is.
Yeah.
I think he was just talking about doing like a local comp, but dude, that all sounds miserable.
Dude, yeah.
I mean, if
even
you
when
get
you
in-
look that
if
big,
you-
dude, you look super uncomfortable. None
True.
of that looks
Oh,
like
absolutely.
What
dude.
is this dude like really huge that was saying that?
no.
Well, then it's cool because it's like if you have a small goal of just competing locally, do that. That's dope.
I don't think a lot
Just
of
don't
people
make it a
realize,
career that late.
I don't think people realize how much of a sacrifice getting into a bodybuilding show is, though. Like, even on the amateur level. I mean,
Yeah, but
it
if
takes
it's like
away
something he can't stop thinking about,
it takes
try
away
it.
your whole social life.
You're like, y'all don't know this guy.
No. I was just like, I think it was more of just an offhanded comment from him specifically because he was like, oh, I might try to do this. I want to see him do it just now. Just get all oiled up and get out there.
Yeah, sure. Get out there, dude.
Why y'all talking about Josh like this?
Josh.
And that's another thing. Like,
Dude, he's got a body on him, though. If he were to want to trim downers, he's got an upper body that's just like,
Meyer.
action figure-ish.
But see,
yeah.
that's the
Crazy
thing.
as
Like,
shit.
even on the amateur level here, dude, I used to be at the competitions when I worked at MaxFit. Even on the amateur level here, if you're not willing to take steroids, you have no fucking shot.
Yeah.
You won't even be on the second call out. You have no shot. These guys come from all over the country to even get in local events around here.
Yeah.
And if you're not geared up, like Josh, for instance, or even like you take him right and he's got a good frame, but as soon as he diets down to the body fat percentage he needs to be at to look good on stage, he will look tiny on stage. Tiny to guys who are running fucking tons of gear who can retain a lot of size and get down to a lot of low body fat percentage.
Yeah.
I mean,
We just had a dude on, like, had to be like 10 episodes ago. Him and his dad, and he, I think, is 17 because he's still in high school. He competed, and I think he got fourth in his first ever show, and he looked crazy good.
yeah.
But it's him and his dad are all natural. Well, he's all natural like his whole life. His dad did gear like a while ago, but he's like several years off of it, and he's trying to compete in a show and like prove he can do it without the stuff. But I mean, to look at the kid's body and know that he's 17 and he looks this insane.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Dude, hey, look.
He's
True,
under
yeah.
18.
Oh, I hopefully by the time this comes out. Yeah, anyways. It's fucking he looks great, dude. His name's Zion, but it's crazy to know that he performed. I didn't know that like a juvenile could compete with adults. I thought there would be like age things, but he was competing against grown fucking 40-year-old men.
Typically in certain shows, I mean, every show's a little different, but he probably won his age group or whatnot, or his age and his weight, and then was in like a overall, where when you're in the overall, you're competing against all of the,
But it was insane, dude. You have any trying to get big?
Me?
Yeah.
No, dude.
You all right, son?
Dude, I don't
He's
know.
like, I know a guy. It's me.
It's I know this
I
guy.
can talk to a guy.
His name rhymes with Chase.
We didn't know how to bring this up. Yeah.
Y'all just trying to get me into a bodybuilding
Yeah,
comp?
we're trying to sell.
No, I don't necessarily, like I said, it looks, I don't want to be
Is
like,
it still on?
I probably fucking died. I knew something was weird with the fucking charger. That's what I'm saying. Well, the rest of this is going to be audio, so if you got this far.
All right, I'm out of here.
He goes,
all right.
If I can't
we can
see
wrap
myself.
pretty soon.
Yeah.
Just since we ran out of video.
But no, nah, dude. I think that people that get, I mean, more power to them. I feel like half the time when I see people that are like real big and jacked, I'm like, that looks sick. But then the other time when I see people who are just like athletic looking, they look comfortable in all of their clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I don't
I'm
even
that
think
looks
big
way
looks
more
sick.
comfortable.
I think that, what you're describing, looks sick to me.
I think you're there though, man.
I think
I'm not there.
You are there.
Yeah,
I was
I'm not
like,
there.
you look athletic. And
Brother, if
like
I took my shirt off,
slightly
it would
muscular.
it
Go
would
ahead and
just
take it
fall
off
to the
if
ground
the
like
video's
water.
Dead. If the video's gone, just take that shirt off. I've seen you with your shirt.
Whoa, Cody, what are you doing? Whoa,
Look at
not
it.
your shorts.
That thing little, ain't it?
So it unfold.
That thing unfolded on me.
Unfolded on me.
Goddamn.
But no, I'm more power. I really genuinely don't judge anybody that does that kind of stuff because I think that like being passionate about anything, even if it's aesthetics or whatever, like I think that's pretty cool. But and it does take. I know it takes a lot of dedication and just being consistent and all that shit. But it is just that seems like way too much work for me. I'd rather just do like I've even tried to reframe
Just
in
break
my
bones,
own life. Yeah, no, we already got a bone breaker at the gym. It's Takia. Old Bones.
I think that should be your nickname.
Tequila.
Maybe
Bone Breaker.
maybe
Tyler
take a
Bone
shot at
Breaker
the title.
Infinger.
Take it from her.
Yeah, well,
Break her foot, and you're
Snap
like,
that
"That's
shit.
my title."
just so you know. No,
I'm the
I wouldn't do
captain
that.
now.
I don't remember what I was saying, man. It don't matter.
Talking about how,
We talking about drugs.
yeah, you wanted to
drugs.
get big as fuck.
Yeah,
240
get on that
club.
trend.
So if you can help me out, that'd be great.
We could be the new trend twins. So.
Yeah,
Oh, I was saying I was trying to reframe in my head just like fitness in general or exercise in general, like kayaking or like doing something like that and thinking of it as not as exercise in the sense of like I got to go do this, but like if I do that in lieu of lifting weights, it's like, oh, it's cool. I still like
yeah,
move
it's
my body.
active.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm just trying to move my body now.
Yeah.
That's really all I care about.
Dude, honestly, with jujitsu, like, I know the term like gets thrown around a lot, but active recovery, that is very beneficial in jujitsu. So like, if you can't do jujitsu and you have something fun, you can do like ride bikes or go run or walk or kayak or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's like it is so good for your body to stop doing those like really hard joint twisting manipulation type moves,
Right.
and do something that is like fluid and you're moving around and you're like not necessarily breaking up scar tissue, but like you're breaking up like I don't know, you're moving around.
Staying in motion. Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's so good. Like
Greasing the groove, dude.
The whole reason my legs are even halfway as good as they are now after the surgery is like I walk all the fucking time.
Yeah.
I made it like my number one priority as soon as I could walk again. I was like, I'm gonna walk all the time.
Oh, dude, when I broke my leg, and then I was like, that was on like a Thursday night. I saw the ortho on Tuesday, and that day he was like, you can do anything that doesn't hurt, and I was like, cool. And I just started doing box squats. So like with a boot on, like I'd have a boot on my left leg, and then I would put, and it's like an inch or two or an inch-ish difference. I just put my other heel on a plate. And just immediately started doing it because I was like, I don't want to lose any of this.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's so hard to come back, especially the older you get. Not that any of us are old, but the older you get, it's like it starts to
Yeah,
it's harder and harder to.
Yeah, falling becomes a real thing. Like,
Dude, I say this like half joking, but when I had a soft cast on my leg for that couple days, and I like had to keep it out of the shower.
ooh,
And I was like by myself, like basically pistol squatting butt naked with just my right leg. I was like, this is how old people die.
Yeah, dude.
yeah,
Like if they get
They
die and they
mobility,
don't find
you
them.
can't. Yeah, you can't. If they limit mobility, or
You
if they
should
do
have cut the
break
life
something,
alert on you.
it's just like, Sarah, help, help me. But it's crazy. Yeah. So yeah, I think my biggest thing nowadays is just staying active.
yeah.
I just want to stay active.
Yeah.
Getting big as fuck sounds kind of cool, but it sounded cooler in my mid-20s.
Yeah, dude. Getting big as fuck in your 20s is way different than getting big as fuck in your mid-30s.
See, I think that's where me and
absolutely.
you connect, where it's like you said it on the last podcast we did, where you're like, we're two like chunky kids that aren't that anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I have a fear of getting big.
Yeah,
of gaining
same.
weight. And,
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, so it's like I don't want to get big. I want to have what I have, but like in a better looking shape.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
we got it. We got you.
Yeah. Dude, hey, I wanted to tell you this, and I mean, I've been saying it a lot on the podcast, so they're probably going to hate hearing this, but I PR'd on bench the other day,
What'd you hit? Do 135?
205.
No shit.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
And I didn't even know I was doing it either because, like, I lift with this dude, John Luca, at work. And
I met him.
Yeah, and
That's
he,
a big boy too, dude.
dude, he can
He's
push
a
some
big boy.
fucking weight. And he lied to me about the weight to, like, trick me to think it was lighter.
sure.
And I
yeah.
did it. But I had just, like, 2 weeks prior to that, I couldn't hit 175. And I had attempted 185. I don't know why, but I did that twice after I couldn't do 175. I don't know. And then 2 weeks later, I was like, dude, you want a PR today? We haven't really. Even when I was trying to do the 185, it was not like, oh, you want to hit a PR. It was just like, let me see if I could do that. And I couldn't, and I don't know why, but that day I just was like, something feels good. Like I did the 135, like my set of 12, and I was like, that felt weirdly light. Like we should do something today. And I worked up to 190, and he's like, I'll put some weight on it, and it'll be 195. And I was like, that's sick. Do you think I could do 200 by like summer? He's like, I don't know, maybe. He's like, just try to hit this. And I hit it, and I playing Money for Nothing from Dire Straits, just like when the guitar hits in the beginning, and like pushed it off. Like I was like, damn, maybe I could do 200. And he's like, that was 205.
That's awesome.
And I was like, no shit. And I was like, I'm not doing nothing else today. Like, no more weight. Just because I was like, I don't want to push it and something crazy happen. Not that like more than 205 is like enough to like shred me up, but I didn't want something to rip because I'm so weak. I never really lifted before. And I was like, in my mind, if it feels heavy on my body, I'm assuming when I get down to like a very vulnerable spot, anything could happen.
Sure.
Even though like maybe 200 pounds is nothing to most of America.
I've never hit 200 on bench. 195 is the most I've ever benched. At 200, I don't know. Part of it's a mental thing. I think also now I'm just not lifting that heavy at all.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy looking at you saying that you couldn't hit a 175-pound bench because you got a pretty broad chest.
Dude, it is fucking weird how weak I am in the gym, and I have no ego about it because I'm like, well, I've never done this, so
That's
why
kind of the
would I
way
be
Chris
strong?
was. Man,
when
I first got Chris in the gym, he couldn't.
And he was already decently
sized. I would say, as far as like width and everything about what Cody is, but he was so fucking weak.
Do you have like a crazy squat or deadlift or something like that?
Okay,
you got
so
big ass legs.
The other day I deadlifted for the first time ever. What do you think I got to?
You deadlifted for the first time ever?
Ever. Like, I did CrossFit deadlifts, but you're doing
touch and go.
Amounts. Like you're trying
to
like for
That's
speed.
crazy.
285?
No.
Like not that much?
Huh?
Like not that much or more?
More.
You got more? Okay, that's good.
Yeah, I got 3 plates on each side.
315?
315.
Okay.
And I did one.
I said no like I was way
I know.
off.
Well, no. I said no because
you just do 500, right?
Yeah.
I said no because I was
Raw.
like, in my mind, I was like,
No belt. No
math.
knee sleeves. Being pure fucking
no,
grit.
doing the 135, I was like, damn, that's so fucking light
Yeah.
in comparison to a bench. And then I did 2 plates on each side, and I was like, I'm going to try 4 plates today. Got the 3 plates on each side, and I was like, I almost blacked out. I posted the video, and I'm like,
Did you? I didn't see that.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
it.
Yeah, I
and
remember.
I dropped it, and that was the second time I did it that day. The first time was way worse. I was like, because I didn't understand the grips. And I still, if I had form, it probably could have went up a little, but sure. I wasn't sure how to grab and all that shit. And
so you just country strong out of nowhere.
That's not that strong.
Not picking up weight ever, never deadlifting, and then just deadlifting 315 pounds is pretty strong.
We're going to try to see what my squat is this week because he just like PR'd all his things to see what his like total amount is.
He's probably pretty up there.
It's like 880 or something like that.
Is his total?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because he's not good with
I was
squats.
about to say, I would
because,
think more than that.
well, he had
Do
something.
you know who we're talking about?
No.
No, he doesn't.
No, I was just talking about the guy that if he could bench all that, you would think he'd be in the 1,000-pound club. I mean,
100%.
Yeah, well, Luca had something wrong with his legs when he was little. Like, he had this thing,
Okay.
like where his ligaments are too short or too tight.
Okay.
So he had to have him cut. And when they cut him, they fucking cut his calves in half.
Oh.
Both of them. So if you ever see Luca again and you look at his legs, it looks like they're like as thin as like a cell phone, but then there's a space in between where it looks like somebody was just squeezing.
Huh.
It's crazy. So his leg strength isn't like wild. So that's where his like number drops.
Come down. Yeah, that makes sense.
But I think his squat was like 285 or something.
That's wild.
Yeah, because he fucking, I think his bench is like I'm gonna say 350. I could be wrong on that, but Like he moves the 300 like pretty. Yeah, and I'm like, God damn.
What did you used to bench?
Like at the peak of my strength, I could bench close to about 345 for like my PR. And that was like the probably like the most I got up to. But squat, it would be close to 4. Deadlift, close to 4.
Damn.
See, I have a feeling my squat is not going to be impressive.
But now
a lot of
that I'm
squat's
older,
technique.
it's 225. That's what I bench with now.
Yeah.
See, that's what I want to get to.
I
2 plates. That's 2 plates on each
Yeah.
side. Yeah, I think that just looks nice.
I think I could probably. I don't ever train with a partner anymore, but if I had someone actually spotting me, I could probably like PR at like 265. I would guess.
Dude, yeah, but
Back when me and Chris were training together, I was still able to hit 315 here and there. But that was also like 4 years ago,
That's
3 or 4 years
crazy.
ago. So, but you know, I can move the weight.
Oh, I know you're strong. When I first started working out, you were the one that taught me how to lift weights.
Yeah. But I haven't squatted and deadlift in fucking 8 years. So who knows what? I
gonna
mean, that would
say-
be pretty low now.
But you used to train those though?
Oh,
You used to
yeah.
squat and deadlift? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gym bro like everyone else.
I
so.
don't even. I mean, I do like RDLs and stuff now, but all that stuff, I don't know. I just feel. I don't know if it's like the jiu-jitsu stuff or what, but like rolling 3 days a week, 4 days a week, and then trying to lift 3-4 days a week, I
Yeah.
feel fucking broken.
Sure.
There's
I just
it's
want to get
too
like
much activity. That's why I quit doing
calisthenically
CrossFit.
strong. Like
Yeah.
the people that can do the fucking.
Like levers. and-
Honestly, man, I don't
Yeah.
really think unless you're competing for like strongman or a bodybuilding show, like squatting and deadlifting are really just unnecessary. All they're going to do is wear your joints out. I mean,
Yeah.
it's fun to do and be like, oh, look how
Yeah.
much weight I can push around.
Well-
but dude, it's going to catch up. Like you're going to hurt.
The deadlifting thing was just because he had just deadlifted and like set these numbers, and I was like, I don't even know what I do. It'd be fun to do that at the end of our workout. So we did that, and bench is just like something he really likes to do. So I already knew that number. So this week, like when we go to do legs, it'll be just interesting to see like what that number is.
Oh, dude.
I'm
You
not
lift way
like
more
at
with your
all
boys.
thinking I'm competitive, huh?
I said you just lift way more with your boys. If you're hanging out with
Yeah.
like your dudes,
Well,
lifting
me and
weights,
him
you're gonna
lift
do
every
way-
single day. We work together, so
That's
we do that
crazy.
on lunch. But I don't work there all the time. I only work there 4 days a week, so it's nice for my buddy to have a break. But it's also like he's lifting the other 2 of the other days. But well, I think we should wrap this.
Yeah. Dude, thanks for being the model again, man.
That was
Appreciate
fucking dope. I didn't know it was gonna be like that, and then when I saw the setup when I walked in, I was like, "Why did he pick me?" You know, you also felt it. I could see that. You're not seeing that on camera right now, but he just
Who else?
nodded
I was
in it.
thinking.
He's like, no one else answered. So.
Yeah. I called 15
I
people.
doubt that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I doubt that.
But
I thought you were a perfect model for it. So
I
thank you.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
I do want to give a shout out to Johnny Mumbles before we get out of here. You've been tattooed by him. You haven't?
No, I have not.
No. Well, you got to get on the train, brother.
I love you,
I do
Johnny.
need to go get
Mumbles,
tattooed
you my
by
man.
Johnny.
Yeah, we're getting really close to finishing my back, and I don't want to reveal it until then. But it's almost fully connected to my front now, so we're getting super close. It fucking hurts, but it's so sick looking. And when it's completely finished, it's gonna be like, mwah, chef's kiss. It's gonna be dope. But if you are interested in getting tattooed by him, go to @JohnnyMumbles on Instagram, or Sacred Grounds Tattoo Studio on Instagram as well. They're like a mile from here, but if you don't know where they're at the foot of the 3 Mile Bridge. Amazing studio. You've been
It's
in
awesome. Yeah, it's
the
dope.
views from his seat are crazy. Got to be the best views.
Oh, it's the best views in the city if you want to get a tattoo, for sure.
I mean, even if you don't and you just want to go hang out and it's a crazy good view from there.
I would get a tattoo if I'm going to go see the view, you know?
You would
wanna
never
pop
just
in
go
and say,
see
"Hey."
him.
I mean, I would.
I mean, you
But
guys-
if you're
you
just
just
some
got-
fuck listening to a podcast, I'm sure he's not going to want you to, like, what are you doing in
We
here?
do just have some
like,
fun
"Oh, I'm
listening.
I just come to see the
I'm on
view.
my lunch break.
Hey, dude, people
man.
do that. People are fucking weird. Man.
Cody told me it was cool.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Check
hear
it
it
out.
be eating the sandwich. Don't be bothering me.
Yeah. What you drawing?
So you tattoo, huh?
This is a tattoo studio?
Yeah.
It's fucking wild.
How much for the views? Well, dude, thank you guys for coming on. Thank you for letting me do this here.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I appreciate it a lot. I'm super bad at saying goodbye on this thing, but we love you guys. And
Whoa, we weren't
we'll
there
see
yet?
you later. Yee.
Yee yee.
No one told me, dude.
Yeah, you got that. Yee.